Did you know that millions of Americans who depend on Social Security wake up every month wondering if their payment has been lost, and often, the answer is hiding right inside a rule most people have never heard of? If you checked your bank account on April 3rd and felt that sudden drop in your stomach when the deposit wasn't there, I want you to take a slow breath, because you are not alone, and more importantly, you are not forgotten. Today, we are going to walk through exactly why that payment may not have shown up, what the Social Security Administration actually wants you to do about it, and how to make sure it never catches you off guard again. If this sounds helpful, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe so you never miss a video made just for you, and drop a comment below telling me your experience. I read every single one. Now, let us start at the very beginning, because understanding why a payment is missing is so much easier once you understand how the whole system was designed in the first place. The Social Security payment schedule is not random, it never has been. There is actually a very specific, deliberate logic behind it, and once you see how it works, a lot of the confusion simply melts away. Back before the 1990s, things were much simpler. Almost everyone who received Social Security got their check on the 3rd of every month, no exceptions. You could set your calendar by it. You could plan your grocery run, your utility payment, your rent, all of it, around that one date. It was reliable, it was predictable, and for millions of Americans who depended on those funds, that reliability was everything. But by the mid-1990s, the Social Security Administration was processing an enormous and growing number of payments, and the system needed to evolve. So in 1997, they introduced what is now called the Staggered Payment Schedule, and it changed the third-of-the-month tradition for many, but not all, beneficiaries. Here is the key detail that trips up so many people, and I want you to really hold on to this. If you began receiving your Social Security benefits before May of 1997, your payment still comes on the 3rd of each month. That is the original group, the long-timers, the folks who have been in the system the longest. And if that is you, then yes, April 3rd was absolutely your correct payment date. But if you started receiving benefits after May 1997, your payment date is not the 3rd. It is one of 3 Wednesdays in April, and it depends entirely on the day of the month you were born, not the year, just the day. Let me make this even clearer, because this is where the confusion really takes hold. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your April payment was scheduled for Wednesday, April 8th. If your birthday is between the 11th and the 20th, your payment is coming on April 15th. And if your birthday falls on the 21st through the 31st, your check is scheduled for April 22nd. So if you were born on, say, the 14th of any month, and you started your benefits after May 1997, you were never supposed to see a payment on April 3rd. Your money is coming on the 15th, right on schedule, exactly as planned. Now, there is also another group that receives their payment on the 3rd, and this is one that surprises people. If you receive both Social Security retirement or disability benefits and supplemental security income, what most folks call SSI, then the 3rd is your day too. SS-only recipients, on the other hand, actually receive their April payment one day early, on April 1st, because the regular SSI payment date fell on a federal holiday that week. The system automatically shifted that payment earlier to make sure no one missed a single day. So if you were expecting SSI on April 3rd and it came April 1st instead, that was not a mistake, that was the system working exactly as intended. And here is one more group that deserves mention: Americans who live outside the United States, or whose Medicare premiums are being paid directly by their state. These individuals also fall into the early payment group and receive their benefits on the 3rd. If you are in this category and your payment did not arrive, there may be an international banking delay or a state coordination issue worth investigating. More on that in just a moment. So now let us talk about what actually happens when a payment is genuinely missing. Because sometimes it is not just about the schedule. Sometimes there are real, fixable issues that cause a real delay. One of the most common, and one of the most preventable, is outdated personal information on file with the Social Security Administration. This one feels almost too simple, but it causes real headaches for thousands of people every year. If your bank account has changed, if you have moved, if your phone number is different from what the SSA has on record, the agency's fraud protection systems can trigger what amounts to a temporary freeze on your payment. The SSA takes identity protection seriously, and any mismatch between what is on file and what is active in the real world can raise a flag. Updating your information is easy. It can be done online, by phone, or in person, but if you have not done it recently, this is your friendly reminder to take 5 minutes and do it today. There is also the matter of what happens between the Treasury Department and your bank. People sometimes assume that when the SSA sends a payment, it lands instantly. But your bank has its own processing timeline. Electronic transfers from the federal government are typically posted within 1 business day, but some financial institutions, especially smaller community banks and credit unions, can take an extra day or 2 to fully credit the amount to your account. So before you worry, log into your bank account or call your branch and ask if there is a pending deposit from the U.S. Treasury. It may already be on its way, just sitting in processing. The Social Security Administration itself has a clear recommendation for this exact situation: wait 3 full business days past your scheduled payment date before officially reporting a payment as missing. 3 business days. That is important, because calling too soon can actually complicate things. It can create duplicate inquiries that slow the process down rather than speed it up. Give the system a little breathing room, and in most cases, the payment will appear without any further action on your part. Now, if you have waited 3 business days and still nothing, that is when you take action. The best first step is to log into your personal My Social Security account at ssa.gov. If you have not set one up yet, I strongly encourage you to do that today. It is free, it is secure, and it gives you direct access to your payment history, your scheduled dates, your benefit amount, and your personal information all in one place. You can see at a glance whether a payment was issued, when it was issued, and where it was directed. This single tool can save you hours of worry and phone calls. If your account shows the payment was sent but you still have not received it, your next call is to your bank. Ask them specifically to trace the deposit from the U.S. Treasury. Give them your expected payment date and approximate amount, and they can tell you definitively whether the funds arrived on their end. If the bank confirms nothing came in, then it is time to contact the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213. They are available Monday through Friday, and their representatives are trained to handle exactly these kinds of payment inquiries. Have your Social Security number and a few pieces of identifying information ready so the call goes smoothly. I also want to take a moment to address something that has been spreading on social media, because I know many of you have seen it and it deserves a clear, honest response. There have been rumors and posts circulating online claiming that a $2,000 federal stimulus payment is scheduled for April 2026. I want to say this as directly and gently as I can. As of right now, there is no such payment. No legislation authorizing a $2,000 stimulus has been passed. What some of these posts are actually referring to, though they rarely make it clear, are either standard tax refunds that people are receiving through the IRS this time of year, or discussions about proposed legislation that is still being debated and has not become law. Please be careful with these kinds of claims, especially when they come with urgent language or ask you to click a link to claim your payment. Scammers know that seniors are a target, and they use confusion around real government programs to try to trick people. If something seems too good to be true, check ssa.gov directly, or call the SSA's official number. Do not give your personal information to anyone who contacts you first. For those of you who are also receiving benefits through the Benazir Income Support Program, or BSP, there is an additional layer of consideration this year. The verification rules for 2026 have become stricter, and payments can be withheld if your CNIC, your National Identification Card, has expired or if your biometric verification has not been updated in the system. If you have been expecting a BSP payment and it has not arrived, the best thing to do is log in to the 8171 portal or visit your nearest BSP facilitation center to check the status of your registration and make sure your documents are current. A missed payment in this case is often as simple as an expired ID, and it can usually be resolved quickly once the verification is completed. Let us pause here for just a moment and recap what we have covered, because there is a lot here and I want to make sure it all sits comfortably. The April 3rd payment was for a specific, defined group, people who started receiving Social Security before May 1997, those receiving both Social Security and SSI, people living abroad, and those whose Medicare is state-funded. If you are not in that group, your April payment is coming on the 8th, the 15th, or the 22nd, depending on your birthday. If your payment did not arrive and you believe it should have, check your My Social Security account, contact your bank, and if needed, wait 3 business days before calling the SSA. And please, do not be taken in by social media rumors about extra stimulus money, there is none scheduled right now. Coming up in just a moment, we are going to bring everything together with some final thoughts on how you can stay ahead of this every single month going forward, and I think what I am about to share is going to make your life a little simpler and a lot less stressful. Stay with me, we are almost there.